So it's time for another little Sunday build, lazy Sunday, as it were. Has been a pretty lazy Sunday. I think I was up till about, 3 o'clock in the morning last night doing a live stream. It was weird. I drank about half a bottle of whiskey, and it was a mistake. And you won't find it on the channel. It's been made private. But those of you who joined me, thank you very much for doing so. It was very fun, I think, from what I remember. Anyway, it was 4 hours long. Okay, let's have a look at the kits. So someone told me I should get the Paniosonic radio, and here it is. It has arrived. I also got this a watch. So it's I can't see where the PCB is. I assume it's in there somewhere. And it comes with a strap, and it's got a Dallas chip on there. We've got this LED matrix, the SMD version. There's also another one actually that arrived, a much smaller version. So that might be fun to do. It wouldn't take too long to do that one. I'm not sure I'm up for a really big session of soldering today. We've got this. Oh, that's for the wand. There's that Tesla thing, which I'm in no condition to be doing. And God, all sorts of other stuff. What's this? That's the function generator. I'm not going to drag out the oscilloscope to do that. Let's should we do this SMD thing? No, actually, let's do that little watch. We'll do the watch. So lots of you have been very kind and bought something from my Amazon wish list, which is incredible. I've now deleted everything off it, and I'll tell you why. Although I'm extremely grateful, it sort of made me feel a bit uncomfortable about your generosity. So it is fantastic, but I think I'm going to review how it works, because I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like I'm asking things of you. So what I might do is just have one thing on there at all times, and then if someone wants to get it, they can, and then maybe next month I'll put a different thing up there. We'll see. Anyway, I am hugely grateful to everyone that's bought something off that wish list. They'll all come in really, really handy, and where I can, I'll name it after you. Just like Kevin, who's sat over there somewhere. So let's have a look what we've got in here. So this is a watch kit. We've got some acrylic here. That's going to be the case, I imagine. We've got a horrible watch strap, but I'm sure it will do the job. Got a small component count here. So we've got the PCB, it's square. I thought it would be round. And we've got our diagram. So it actually looks like it's going to be quite easy to do. So let's have a look. Instructions of the LED watch. Welding the resistor, crystal oscillator and capacitor. So that's what we want to do first. Then we need to weld the DS1302 and an it's another STC chip. Okay, cool. Don't get the direction of the integrated circuits wrong. I will try and remember. Weld the Nixie tube and battery buckle. They're not Nixie tubes, are they? They are. It's just 7-segment displays, I think. Yeah, we've just got a little 7-segment display there. And the battery buckle, did it say? Yeah. And then we've got installing the shell, debugging instructions. Okay. Well, this should be relatively easy. This PCB drawing instruction is what I'm going to be paying attention to. But we'll pop that to the side for now, and we'll just get set up, shall we? We'll put these away as well, I don't need those. Let's come in a little bit closer. Right, so here are all our components. Just push them all into the center a little bit. Hopefully there's a solder mask on here. Yes, there is. That will make it so much easier. So we have the STC chip goes there, the DS1302. There aren't sockets for those, so they're just going to be soldered directly in. We've got a crystal just there. I assume that's going to lay down. We've got a couple of resistors. These will be, these ones here, they're the only resistors with it, so it's going to be 10Ks for those. couple of momentary push buttons, and some 22 picofarad capacitors, and that is a 104, so that's a 100 nanofarad capacitor. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to need some blue tack again, I think, but let's pop these components in, and it told us we should do the resistor, capacitor and crystal oscillators first. So where does the 104 go? It does not say on the board, it seems. Oh no, it does. There it is, just there. We've got the 2 picofarad, 22 picofarad capacitors. There's your loading crystals, loading capacitors for the crystal rather. I'm going to go there, and oh, I've put that one in slightly the wrong hole. I'll go back and change that. That one goes there. That stream last night, wow. If you did manage to join, I'm sure you can tell tales to the rest of you who didn't see it, but I got a little bit tipsy, very tipsy in fact, and I was trying to do some things with the Raspberry Pi, and basically I was failing at every point because I'd sort of lost the ability to write code correctly. I'd lost the ability to type without making mistakes. And generally I was just laughing at every little thing and telling stories that I really shouldn't have. Oh well, it was a bit of fun. We'll lay that on down there, that's fine. Should we just solder those ones in? Oh no, we'll do the resistors as well, I think that's what it said. I should probably turn on the soldering iron. That'd be a good idea. I've got the camera at a bit of a weird angle today, so I don't know how that's going to come out, but hopefully it's all right. These are tiny little resistors. They're sort of a different form factor than I'm used to. But we should make short work of this this little clock. I'm a really big fan of anything with LEDs, anything that's a clock, I really like. I've got a project coming up actually, which it's not really a project. It's more of a little just DIY type deal with one of these, which is oh, you can't really see it, can you? It's a cloche, I think that's how you pronounce it. Has a little base, and it's a glass thingy. So it's going to have some LEDs in it. Now I've moved that, I'm probably going to break it somehow. So I'm excited to do that. It's been sat on the dining room table for a long time. I think I might have gotten distracted about what I was talking about. Something to do with the stream. It was fun. Lots of you were there. I think about 50 people or something. Incredible. I didn't pay much attention to the chat because I was desperately concentrating on remembering what the hell I was meant to be doing. So I have a spare resistor. Okay, that's fine. I love a spare component. All right, that's all of the bits we need to put in for now, so we'll just turn that over. In fact, we're going to do the crystal. Oh no, we're not. It's this capacitor which is sort of pushing everything out of the way. Actually, we'll just do these ones separately. Right, bit of blue tack. We've gone for the green matte today. This stuff gets really, really tough. You guys may be pleased to see that I've bought myself some of these side snippers, flush cutters. They were really, really cheap. So thank you very much for pointing those out to me. I picked up a pair. I think they were £3. So yeah, they should make this whole job of snipping off those wire leads much, much easier. All right, let's get started soldering, shall we? So the stream last night was about Raspberry Pi development, and I was looking at the radio cube. You may not remember exactly what that was. It's been a while since I've worked on it. However, the idea is that it would be a cube, and you turn it, and whatever side it's on will be the play you assign to a radio station. It would play that. I've worked on it again today, and so I'm at the point where now the LDRs will react and play the radio station that I want them to. However, OMX player, which is the thing that I'm using, keeps cutting out on me, so it sort of quits without warning, which is very frustrating. I'm going to redo a couple of these joints. There's not really enough solder on that one there. That's better. All the rest look okay. Yeah, it keeps quitting out on me, which is frustrating. I look in the error log and it says that it's got an end of file report, which means that the stream it's playing, either it's running out of data or it's in some way badly formatted so that it appears it's the end of the file. So it just quits itself. Now what I'm going to have to do is have a little watchdog to say if it's... God, these are amazing. I mean it. Look at that. Well, I know you guys already know what these are like, but holy moly, these are brilliant. Fantastic. So I have to set up a little watchdog to see whether it's running or not. However, that does lead to some problems in that the radio is just going to cut out, which is not what I want. I want it to be able to play all the time, so it's frustrating. Right, next we're going to put in the ICs, I think. So where are they? Here they are. So make sure they're the right way round. Do they just slot in? Do I need to roll them a little bit? I do. Let's roll these without bending an individual pin like that. Well done, Watts. It's just smarter to push it away from you, really, isn't it? Okay, that one's in. And roll this one over. So yeah, I don't really want to have a watchdog for the radio. In fact, I think I'm going to ditch OMX player entirely, and I might use VLC instead. Just because I think, well, the OMX player has no method for changing the file that you're playing. You can only exit and then restart, which is pretty frustrating. So if you wanted to change the stream you're listening to, then you have to just exit. That is annoying. So I would like to be able to change the file and VLC, change the file destination, origin, whatever. VLC has the ability to do that, which is good, and I think would be ideal. So, oh God, I love IC pins. You just have to throw a bit of solder on really, really fast, and they're fine. Oops. Bit smoky. Temperature's probably a little high. What is a good temp do you find for soldering? So I'm currently soldering at 383 degrees. That's centigrade. I mean, if it was Fahrenheit, it wouldn't be doing much. But it does mean you can really fly through these. There we are. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what your technique is really for these. Oops, daisy, that did not solder well. They all look all right, actually. Let's give that a clean and then I'll have a closer look. In fact, I'll let you guys have a closer look as well. I'll give it a bit of a spray. It gets everywhere though. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, does it? I mean, it's hard to get that in focus, but they came out all right in the end. Not massively bulbous, some of them, but they're all certainly soldered. I could maybe just add a little bit more on there. In fact, it wouldn't be a terrible idea if I just touched a couple of those pins. In fact, I will. I can see one there that hasn't got a lot on. This bottom row, I think I just went through them a little bit too quickly. Yeah, that's a bit better. He says, saying they're fine and then completely changing his mind. There we go. Right, what's next? Let's pop the switches in now. That way around. Frustrating, they don't really... Oh, it's because that one's bent. Come on now. There we go, there's one. And the second one. I know you probably can't really see what I'm doing too well there, but trust me when I say it's awkward. There we go, and there's the second. Right, let's do those now. It's going to be a little bit wobbly, but we'll force some blue tack on there. There we go. Right, it's a little bit wobbly, but we'll make the best of it. And we'll flood some solder on those. Actually, if any of you've got any experience with using OMX Player, I would be very interested to hear how you've gotten around some of the issues that you see. I know there's a wrapper class that you can use for it. However, I fancied writing my own, so I've done that. It's usually my excuse for everything. My code doesn't work. Oh, it's because I fancied writing my own rather than using someone else's. Still, I find that I learn more if I'm writing my own stuff than if I just copy without asking questions. So there we go. Now, what have we got left? We've got one thing there and our crystal we need to put on. Okay, so this went in between the chip here, didn't it? So let's pop that in. It's just a 104. And then we've got our crystal we need to pop in. There we go, that looks fine. I'm going to pop a little bit of blue tack on the crystal there. And we'll get that soldered up. So I'm not enjoying the blue, I'm not enjoying the green matte very much. I think I prefer the grey. I mean, that looks like a solder bridge to me. However, it's very close to that other pin. Perhaps it is meant to be. Those are loading crystals there, and it comes down to this one. So it's going into the right pin. That's fine. Yeah, I think I prefer the other coloured mats. Someone actually has bought me a black mat, which I'm really excited to try out. I don't know what that's going to look like in video, so I'm hoping it's going to look really cool. Also quite pleased to get to use these again. There we go. Oops-a-daisy. Right, so what's left in terms of components? We have a spare resistor. Let me check that doesn't actually exist on the diagram. No, we've got 1, 2, 3, and no others. And we have 1, 2, 3. So we are good. They're a bit wonky, aren't they? That's frustrating. And so all that's left is the LED little matrix thing, the 7-segment display. That is it. Holy moly, this has been a fairly quick one today. Well, I say that. My recording counter is at 25 minutes, so it's not been that quick. So let's pop this bad boy in, shall we? I don't know which way round it goes, though. Decimal point. And I've got to assume it goes decimal point down here. Okay, I've probably done this in the wrong order. What was next? Install the shell. Oh, I should have done the LEDs before I did the buttons. That's not an issue. We'll just use a bit of blue tack to hold the thing in place while we do this. Just to make sure it's raised off enough. There we go. Kind of like that. Just going to double check. Yeah, they're around the right way. We'll do one pin and then we'll just check it's seated okay. Not quite. Yep, there we go. Okay, we can do the rest of that now. So I've been thinking about some, thinking about some new projects that I'd like to get involved with. And I think I want to do the Hackaday prize next year. I skipped it this year because I didn't really have anything I wanted to do, and I didn't have any ideas related to the project, related to the subject. But I would love to do the Hackaday prize, and I was wondering if anyone had any ideas for projects that could be done on some of the topic areas that they like to choose. So it's usually like saving the world, isn't it? That didn't work out well. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's usually some kind of saving the world thing. And I was also wondering if anyone knows of any kind of hacker/maker groups. Because I was thinking we don't all share our knowledge very much. I mean, I put out videos, other people put out videos and stuff, and they show their projects off. I'm quite careful these days not to call anything that I do tutorials, because sometimes I can be wrong and I don't want people really running off stuff that's wrong. But I'm really surprised the smart people in forums and on YouTube don't band together to create some kind of super group or something like that to not necessarily to solve the world's problems or anything, but just to modify hardware, get projects up and running really quickly. That one hit the lens, didn't it? Get in trouble for that kind of thing. Right. So yeah, I've been thinking about it and I'm not sure what I want to do. Right, now we have to do the battery thing. Okay, I think I should have done this before I did this bit. So, it solders on like that, does it? Let's check it isn't the other way around. No, it kind of has to be that way, unless it's like that. Well, that would make more sense, I think. Yeah, that way round. Just going to double check. Yeah, sort of see from that little diagram there that the pins face inwards, just like this. So we're going to blue tack that down again. And solder it. That looks about good. Let's move this over a bit so it's a bit more central. And we'll get those things soldered. In fact, central is relative, isn't it? Let's move that there. Solder these things. They look like they're going to be pretty difficult to solder, so we'll just do one. Well, we'll tack it on, in fact. Right, that's fairly tacked on. Yeah, that looks okay. We'll do the other side now. I kind of want to really flood it. There we go, that's nice. And then quite a lot more over here, I think. There we go. God, there's a lot of smoke. Now, it didn't come with a battery. What kind of battery do we need? Does not say. CR2032 probably? I'll go and find one. Right, well I found a pack that I've already opened. I'm going to check them with a multimeter because they're old. So expiry 6/2020, so it should be okay. Let's pull one of these out. Let's have a little quick check. Whoops-a-daisy, I'm dragging the soldering iron with me and it's still on, so I don't want to do that. So top is positive, bottom is negative. 3.3, perfect, that is fine. Does that diagram tell me which way to put this battery in? I'm pretty sure you put it in like that, but I will check. In fact, we'll just trace it out. So the bottom is not positive, is it? Oh yeah, the top's positive. That top section there is the positive section, so that is the right way around. So we can plug this in. Don't go wrong, please. Hey, look at that. Oh, there we go. So it's working. Let's come in a bit closer so you can have a look. And I'll turn the exposure down as well so that you guys can see it better. There we go. It's very dark, obviously, but it's not a bright watch at all. So these resistors are probably setting the brightness for this, I would imagine. Okay, so let's have a look at what you do next. So we'll come out a bit and we'll change the exposure back. There we go. So confirmation, adjust the time, press the right button again. So adjust the hour. Press 2 buttons for restoration of all circuits until the time shows 12. Okay. I'm still waiting. No? Oh, I had to let go. That makes sense. Then press the right button for 3 seconds. Left, right. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go, it does work. My fingers are a little bit sticky. So we press the right button for 3 seconds and then the left button to set up the hours. Now, I don't know quite what time it is. I'm going to guess it is 7 o'clock and it looks to be about 1:45. So press that one to change the minutes. Holding it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. So, well, that will do. It doesn't have to be right. There we go. I don't know if we get, it's already gone off. So you just press that to wake it up. And it goes back to sleep again. That's useful. And that's it. We don't get, we don't appear to get a date or anything, which is fine. Okay, let's try and make up the box it goes in, shall we? So now that is complete, and I kind of love it. I mean, I think I'd wear it as just the PCB, but I don't think it would stand up to sweat and stuff very well. Oh, taking all this stuff off is going to be a pain. I'm going to switch the camera off for peeling all these bits off. Interestingly, just while I'm peeling these bits off, looking at the diagram here, you can see that the microcontroller isn't powered on by that button. It's actually going to sleep. So it will have some sleep current, and also the DS1302 will also have its own current to maintain the time. That will be in the sort of nanoamps range, but I would imagine the microcontroller is in the microamps range. So maybe another day we might test it and see how much current it's drawing. Or could we do it today? I'll have a look at it and see if we can do it today, but I'm struggling with these, so it may take a while. Well, it seems I've got all the bits off now, but it seems we've got a nice handy diagram here. I have to say the instructions with this are really, really good. So each one of these has a different sort of layout, a different shape, and I'm looking for a square one, and that's this one here. So it's relatively easy. All we need to know is that's at the bottom, because these holes are a little bit off center. And then we need to put the same one here. We'll try and match up the holes as we go. The next one, we need the big old square one, which is that one there. So it looks like we've got a little lip there where our board's going to fit in, just like that, I think. Hopefully that will fit. And then we have another one there. So I think, oh yeah, there's an extra one. I think we need to put the circuit board in at some point here. And I think it's possibly on this section. Oops. So let's try and pop it over the top instead of trying to pop it in. There we are. Perfect. And then try not to get too much junk in there at the same time. Nice. That's the wrong one. Oh! We've got one different one to put in there now. It's not that one. It is this one. And then we have that one there. So they all sandwich together to hold this thing in place. God, it looks pretty, doesn't it? So we've got some bolts here, some nuts and bolts. And we have some holders for those bolts just there. So let's pop those in. Right, so there's two of the screws in. I've decided not to put the other ones in actually, because we're going to take it apart again and we are going to measure the current. So I may not put it together completely. I just think it might be quite interesting to find out if we can estimate how long this will last on batteries. I mean, if we ignore the current it takes when you turn it on, it's the sleep current that I'm interested in. Right, so I've hooked up the crocodile clips to the little watch, and we're going to see if we can figure out how much it is drawing. So I've got my positive, needs to go here, so this is the in current, and then we've got the out, or whichever way, the classic way. And as soon as I connect these, we should see something. I'm in the milliamp scale because I know it's going to start off there. So our peak current is 6 milliamps, and it looks like our sleep current is 344 microamps. Let's see if we can measure that a bit more accurately by going into the microamps range. We're going to have to short out the leads because it's going into the milliamps first. So we'll just short those leads out. Oops. We'll short the leads out first, and then I'll drop the short once it has gone back to sleep again. So it's gone to sleep, so let's just drop that one. There we go. 305, 306 microamps. We're just going to go and use a calculator and figure out what that would be in terms of battery life. So I found a calculator. This one's got my name engraved in it. Engraved, scratched in really badly. It was mine at school. I've still got it. So let's see. Does it still work? So we measured it at, what was it, 0.3 milliamps roughly. So let's be generous and say that this battery has a capacity, it's a lithium 2025. 2025, why would I have used that? Interesting. Thought it was a 2032. Let's say it has a capacity of 200 milliamps. That's generous, it's probably less than that. And then we'll divide that by the 0.3. Really, I should probably scale this for realism, but we won't bother. We'll just go with the number that we've got there. So 666 hours. Let's divide that by 20. That's times 2. Divide it by 2. And then we'll divide that by 24 to give us days. So we're looking at around a month of continuous use if that battery's in all the time. And you have to keep the battery in all the time because this case will encompass it. So you're looking at undoing and doing up that case 12 times a year. So not ideal. So I don't think it's going to be going inside that case. I would rather have it outside of the case, and I'll do something else with it. I've got some little holes here. I can mount it on something maybe. But overall, I'm very happy with this. It's very cool. I just love the form factor of it. It's tiny. Let's give it a CR2032, shall we, rather than that other one. Let's pop that in. Okay, it doesn't like that one. Let's give it back the other one, wherever that's gone now. Ah, there it is. So it doesn't like a CR2032, but it doesn't mind that one. Anyway, I love it. It's great. I'll put a link in the description if you want to pick one up yourself. They're quite cool, aren't they?